what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Hey everybody, welcome into The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. This is episode 105. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. So Carl, you have a new setting there. Where are you and how are you doing?
I am here in, actually, Hamburg, New York is the actual city that I am in.
Okay.
Which is only a few minutes away from Buffalo, you know, like maybe 20 minutes if I want to get like into downtown.
Cool.
And then Canada's like, right across the Peace Bridge there.
There you go, Burley. Yeah.
Yep.
So now you and Carl can start hooking up and doing things. Yeah.
And
Going for a brewski or something. Yeah.
According to my phone, it is 43 degrees outside.
Yeah. Probably about the
Nice
same
and
for you,
crispy,
Burley. Yeah.
cold.
Oh yeah, it's about the same here.
Yeah. Well, here in Japan, we had a typhoon come through today again because it's typhoon season. Yeah, typhoon number 15 rolled through today, but it passed by Tokyo. Of course, I'm a little farther outside the Tokyo area, about 40 minutes by bullet train from Tokyo, so not too far. But we just got heavy rain. That's it. So it passed around 4 in the afternoon, so it's gone. So, but Anyway, how are you doing, Burley?
I'm doing good.
Good.
In the last 3 days, I've got 3 more work days of working in the office, and I'm back to normal.
Nice.
Cannot wait.
Nice.
I know you can't wait.
Because usually, before you start work, we do some of our, videos for the Arena Productions on YouTube and stuff. So, so we can get back to our regular schedule again. Looking forward to that. And Carl, I'm looking forward to having you on some of the episodes again, too, when we do, like Star Wars and Marvel and stuff like that. So,
Just got to keep up, man.
Well, you're settling into your new place. So, I'm sure you'll get caught up soon enough. So, all right. We got a great show for you this week. Obviously, the GTA 6 leak, we're going to talk about that. Shawn Layden, he's moving on. We're going to talk about his next job, the Overwatch 2 designer, lead hero designer. He's leaving Blizzard. We're also going to talk about that. A new Iron Man game is also coming in the works. Our topic of the show, we're going to be talking about, for example, exclusivity and games, for example, that are platform agnostic. We're going to talk about that. And a lot more, as well as, of course, our picks of the week for new game releases and all. But before we get into what we've been playing this past week, here's a brief word about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast, in audio and video formats, will be going to Patreon in early access for 1 day after being recorded. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode in audio and video formats, exclusive post-show content in video format when recorded, as well as watch or listen ad-free, please visit patreon.com/thearena_podcast for further details. Weekly on Sundays, the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, and in video format on our YouTube channel, The Arena Productions. For the audio version, just download your favorite podcast app and search for The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and the podcast audio website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. For all information regarding the podcast and our entertainment and pop culture related content, along with our blog and forums, visit the official website of The Arena Productions at www.thearenaproductions.com. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at The Arena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
Okay, guys, I'll start. I started, especially for you, Burley, because you told me last week that I should play Deathloop using the DualSense controller. And we're going to be talking about DualSense controllers and other types of controllers probably later on, probably during the post show. We're going to be talking about that. But yeah, I started playing Deathloop and on a PS5. And I have it downloaded on the Series X, and I'm going to play it on the Series X as well because I want to compare and contrast both of these controllers and see whether you say it's probably better to play it with of course, the DualSense controller and the haptic triggers and all of that. I mean, yeah, you get the feel, when he's climbing up steps and everything. Colt's climbing up steps, and you feel it, it vibrates each time he's stepping up, and as you're running around and things like that. I haven't gotten too far yet. I've only died once so far.
Okay.
It's at that part in the very beginning. I won't spoil it for any of you out there that haven't played it yet. But the art style is cool. It's very 1960s type of art style. It seems like a fun game. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. So that's on the PS5. On the Xbox Series X, I downloaded on Game Pass the Ni no Kuni. So I'm starting that, as well as on the Switch, I'm still playing Splatoon 3. So that is what I have been playing. So Burley, I'll start with you next. What have you been playing, man?
I've been continuing on my own time triangle strategy, getting close to the last couple chapters. I've been really enjoying that game.
Nice.
Great game, man. I love it.
Oh, it is. That story has got me hooked several times where I have to stop myself late at night. It's like, I want to keep going, but I know I'll be up till 3 a.m. and I know the next day that day I'm going to be punished for it. So it's like having to just stop and dock the Switch to charge it and all that.
Yeah. Burley, before you go on, I have one question about Deathloop. And this isn't not a spoiler or anything, but I mean, it seems like you die and then you go back to the beach where you started.
Yep.
Right. Now, is this game like Returnal, where it's like over and over and over again, you go back to the very beginning, or do you start where you died?
You'll always go back to the beach. I believe one of the power-up things, I can't remember what they call. There is one where you can get like a life. So if you do die, you have that.
Okay.
But the nice thing is as you go through on that game and get this, I forget what the substance is called. It's like psycho something.
Oh, yeah.
As you get more of that, as you're running, you can save stuff so you can have better guns, the power up. So that way, when you start at the beach, you have all this stuff and you can get it. And that makes doing the loop, breaking the loop, possible.
Okay. So sorry about that. Go ahead, Burley. What else have you been playing?
God of War, we finished the story and I finally beat all those Valkyries. Fuck that queen.
You beat her on what, normal difficulty?
New game plus normal. So
is it different?
Yeah, she has a little more health and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like it took me a while. I couldn't do that one on stream. I spent like an hour on it, and it was like I was done. The next morning, I booted it up, played for another hour, and like got the last like level on my armor and my one talisman.
Nice.
To give myself one more socket so I could up my strength and defense, especially defense.
Nice.
Oh, I love that one ability where you can, with the one talisman, where you can slow down time. That is so handy for those Valkyrie fights. And the other game I've been playing is Mario Kart 8. Just fun to play on stream and have my. Anytime I think I'm good at my game, my viewers remind me, "No, you aren't."
I see. Cool. Carl, what have you been playing, man?
Well, I did actually set up my Xbox Series X at the hotel.
Oh, how
The
did that
two
go?
hotels I stayed at.
How did it
And
go?
I played some Soul Hackers too, and it was
Nice.
good.
Nice.
It's nice. I've put in about 8 hours and a half into that game, according to my Xbox stats.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to say it definitely is a game that, like, 7 is probably the higher end of where the reviews should go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, to me, one of the worst things about it that's bothering me so much is that, like, I got to a point where I wasn't even interested in the story. You know, like I'm finding, like, I'm like, all right, the main story, I'm letting that play out. I'm going through all that. And then you get some secondary stuff, you know, and you can do, like, oh, I'm gonna, do the side quest things, or I'm gonna do, you go to the bar, right, and you can have, like, conversations with your other characters.
Right.
And I find myself, like, reading it. I'm like, I'm not interested in this at all. I'm, like, skipping the dialogue. And then I got to the point where I'm like, I'm starting to like sort of skim the main story dialogue, and I'm like, all right, this is clearly a problem. Like, it's just not grabbing me at all. I like I like the main characters, really, like the main girl, Ringo, and even her, like, sort of twin, sort of sister character, Fig. I like them. I like their personality, their dynamic, but I don't know. Everybody else just seems very kind of bland and not that interesting.
I see.
And the gameplay wise, I'm like, it is a pretty standard, turn-based game. There isn't anything that interesting or unique about it. You just getting your different devils or demons, whatever. I mean, they're devil summoners in this, but you just get a couple different abilities from them. And I did get to the part where you can actually, like, join different demons together and create new ones and
the fusions.
Save ability. Fusions, right? And you can save abilities from the previous one, so you can sort of customize, like, what they might have. But at the end of the day, like, it comes down to, okay, I have to hit their weakness, right? And if I don't hit their weakness, I'm not doing very much damage at all. And if I don't hit their weakness, I'm not getting, like, the stack at the end of the round, which does damage to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it requires me to, like, all right, I'm fighting regular enemies and figure out, like, I gotta have the weakness for every one of these regular enemies, and, like, do I have enough of my characters that have the right weaknesses to hit them to do enough damage, or am I, like, sometimes just wasting turns, just, like, having one character hit a weakness, and, like, I don't really think it's that great. Like, when you compare it to something like even Octopath Traveler, which has a similar weakness mechanic, right? When you hit their weaknesses, you break their defense, and then once you break their defense, you can do damage with anything.
I see. Yeah.
Whereas in this game, it's like you're just not doing much damage at all unless you're hitting a weakness.
Right.
And then, of course, there are enemies who are immune to certain damage, right, or just strong in certain damage. And then it's like, all right, well, those attacks are worthless. You would never do those.
Right.
So it's just not a great game. It's very average, and it's disappointing. But whatever. I'm still looking forward to Persona 5. See how that goes.
Cool. What about Uden Chronicles? Yeah, that's coming soon. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That should be
29th.
Yeah. We also got that news from Konami, like the game that they were teasing, like oh, it's another in a franchise that's from before or something like that. Like, and it was Suikoden 1 and 2, sort of like remastered.
Yeah, actually, what I meant to say was Valkyrie Elysium. Yeah, that's coming on 29th.
Okay.
Oh, that's very soon, right? Yes. Yeah. I downloaded the demo. I hooked up my PS4. In my new place here, and I was like, let me turn it on. I haven't turned it on like forever, and of course it's got to like do all these updates for the store, and I'm like, all right, let me do something on here. I downloaded that demo, and I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of the Diofield Chronicles demo, and I didn't put enough time into that.
I see. Cool.
So, yeah.
All right, let's get into the weekly news beat. So earlier this week, obviously, we had a situation with Rockstar Grand Theft Auto 6 footage was leaked. And since then, we've had lots of other developers come out with their early builds to kind of show what their early builds looked like and all. But yeah, I'll go ahead and put the, of course, the for all of you video viewers, the link to Axios, the news story here. So I'm going to read a little bit of this for you, then we're going to discuss it here. So 90 videos of in-development footage of Rockstar Games' secretive next Grand Theft Auto game were leaked online last Sunday in one of the most shocking data breaches in gaming history. The footage confirmed reported details about Rockstar's next game, but more gravely, appeared to be part of a plan by the leaker to extract money from the game maker. So the sprawling GTA series is one of the biggest franchises in gaming history, and its fans have been eager for information about an unusually long gap since its last installment, 2013's GTA 5. Yeah, so like back in the PS3 era. So Rockstar said in February that the development of the next GTA was, quote, well underway, end quote, but has offered no details about it. So, I mean, what's really interesting about this, in a sense, is that usually when we get leaked information about a game, it's usually very close to the time that the game is going to be released. So I think it was, what was it? I think back in 2020 that The Last of Us Part 2, there was footage that was leaked like a month or two before release. So we get instances like that, but this is a big one in the sense that, you know, GTA really hadn't given us any details about this game. And, you know, boom, you know. So, yeah, it's a blow to Rockstar. But I mean, when you're making games and most of these games are in digital form, you know, something like this could happen, unfortunately. And we're not going to say who the leaker was and all. We don't want to give the satisfaction of that. But we do know now, I think the updated news has that this person has been identified, and I think the FBI is now investigating, if I'm correct. So
didn't they say they arrested someone in?
It's possible, yeah, but
it's like a 17-year-old kid or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Go ahead, Burley.
I said there's been a lot of actually game hacks and leaks, and then people recently, and a bunch of these people trying to extort money on this stuff. It's like, you guys are out your freaking mind. You get caught with this shit. Like,
yeah,
you guys sell it for crypto. On the dark web.
Yeah, so going on, of course, as I mentioned, of course, the Last of Us Part 2, of course, the creative director of that game, Neil Druckmann, he tweeted, quote, to my fellow developers out there affected by the latest leak, know that while it feels overwhelming right now, it'll pass. One day we'll be playing your game, appreciating your craft, and the leaks will be relegated to a footnote on a Wikipedia page. Keep pushing, keep making art, end quote. So yeah, I like that quote, and I think that's where this story eventually is going to end up. When GTA 6 comes out, millions and millions of people are going to be playing this game, and this is going to be just like a footnote on like Wikipedia. But for the time being, it's big in the sense that, you know, a lot of the gameplay, you know, was leaked, and people could see, you know, now we know it's in Vice City and so forth. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, now, I mean, right now it's kind of a big blow for Rockstar, but it'll pass. That's just my thought on this. What do you guys think? Carl, I'll start with you on this.
Have either of you guys watched any of it?
I watched a little bit, like
I decided not to. I decided just no. I didn't want to watch it. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not against it if you watched it. I didn't watch it, not because I made a choice, but just because I really have almost no interest at all in Grand Theft Auto 6. So I was
at this point in time too, Carl, you're pretty busy. I think you got other things to worry about right now. So.
I'm not going to be watching leaked footage of a game that I'm not really interested in. Yeah, I mean, look, I understand it can be hard on the developers. I actually think it's not as bad as what happened with The Last of Us 2, because that happened very close to release, and was fresh in everyone's mind, and it was like people were trying to spoil major events in the game to people right before the game was coming out. Yeah. This is potentially, I'm sure, years away from release, and by the time this game comes out, most people will remember it happened, but no one's going to remember what they even saw. They'll have to like try to remember like what the footage looked like, because it's not going to be freely available on the internet either.
Right.
Kind of like the Skull and Bones thing that came out, that leaked, which was kind of pretty much what they showed, and I watched that, but I also kind of forgot exactly what was in it, and you can't watch it anymore. So, the thing that I think the biggest problem was that supposedly the source code leaked, which I don't know what came out of that. But they were saying that maybe didn't happen, or I don't know, but.
Yeah. From what I heard, the source code did not leak. That was just a rumor that the source code had leaked, but I can be wrong on that.
Yeah.
From what I saw, it's just like I only saw just because the one because we're working in the office, and the one guy's like, "Oh shit, this got leaked," and we took a quick look, and it was like, The only thing that I want to know if anything that leaked, is how much this online casino is going to be, because in 5 that thing was massive, and it's still massive. It's still selling copies, still selling transactions. That's the thing. The only thing I care. Like, I'm not a Grand Theft Auto guy. I keep trying to get into this series, but just other than playing the game and turning on 50 million cheats just to have a lot of fun and just do crazy wacky shit.
Yeah.
That's about my experience with the series. It's like
getting in a car, driving around, playing all the radio stations, doing all that fun stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, the cool thing that came out of this is other developers releasing early footage of their games.
Yeah.
Just to show people, like, this is what it looks like. This is not anything out of the ordinary when you see something that doesn't look very good in an early build.
Yeah.
Which is like, who are the good ones I saw? Well, there's God of War 1, which previously was already out, which is cool with the beginning fight with Kratos and
Baldur.
I think they showed
Baldur?
Control
Yeah.
also. Control
was another good one.
Control.
Yeah. And what was another one? I saw Plague Tale Requiem.
Yeah.
Or it might have even been the new game, but it was one of them. I was like,
Innocence is the first one. Yeah.
First one.
Yeah, it was Innocence. Okay, yeah, it was like an early footage of that. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, it's actually, it's cool to see that stuff. Actually, would be nice if more devs would release that stuff after the fact, just to show people, like, this is how the process goes.
Right.
And some do. There are documentary videos like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like Neil Druckmann's, like, as you said, I do like Neil Druckmann's statement.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's what it will be. This will all be in a year or two. This is all most people are gonna care. We're gonna get the things that are gonna get people caring is how much this game's gonna launch for price wise, because I think we all know, and then how much are they really going to be pushing online, GTA Online on that, and can you transfer stuff from GTA 5 online to GTA 6 online? I think those are going to be the bigger stories when this game gets closer to launch.
Yeah.
It's $100 Canadian.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
For those, like, the next gen version of games, they're $89, so with tax it's like $101. So
it's kind of funny that, like, you get all this sympathy now for Rockstar, and it's understandable. There's no reason why you don't know. It sucks for this to happen to people who are working on it. Yeah. But let's not forget the last thing they put out, which was the GTA trilogy.
Oh yeah, I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Yeah. Right, like, let's not do like a complete 180 on them. We're like, oh no, they're saints because this happened to them.
But what also leaked with this was early builds of Red Dead 1 remastered that now seems to be they're not talking about that. They're like, that is not. And people have been clamoring for that because how popular after Red Dead was too.
after the GTA trilogy was so poorly received, there was that story about how was it Red Dead 1 and something else, I think they were working on, or GTA 4, like sort of remasters that they're like, no, we're not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, but I want those.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's move on to our next story. So good old Shawn Layden. You remember him, right? He was the head of PlayStation for a while. I know Carl. Yeah. Carl is like,
No, he was cool.
Yeah, man, he's a good guy, and he speaks fluent Japanese too. Nihongo perepere desu. Yeah. So he is joining Tencent Games as a strategic advisor. So the link to the Gematsu story is down below for all of you video viewers, and so I'm going to read a little bit of it for you. So former Sony Interactive Entertainment America president and CEO Shawn Layden has joined Tencent Games as a strategic advisor. He announced, quote, "I am delighted to share that I have recently joined Tencent Games as a strategic advisor," end quote. Layden said in a LinkedIn update, quote, "In this new role, I hope to advise, assist, and support the team at Tencent as they deepen their activities and commitments within the industry to which I've devoted the majority of my career." So Layden continued, quote, "We are at an epoch-defining moment in gaming and interactive entertainment. There are many possible roads ahead, but only a few are profound, broadening, inclusive, edifying, inspiring, and or sustainable. I am thrilled to continue this journey of discovery and thank Tencent for the opportunity." And of course, Shawn Layden left Sony in 2019, September. So it's been a few years now. So I'm kind of surprised that he's joining Tencent, being that it's a Chinese-based company. It's a direct competitor to the Japanese market. So in that sense, I'm a little bit surprised at this, but then, he sees that there are opportunities there for advising and assisting with the development of some of these games that they're working on. So yeah, good on him for jumping on this opportunity. What do you guys think?
He sees those dollar bills.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. I
wonder if he speaks fluent Chinese too.
I don't know. I know he speaks fluent Japanese, but I don't know about Chinese. Possible, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Burley, I'll start with you on this. What do you think of Mr. Layden joining Tencent?
Games? Let's be fair. He did it for the money. They're paying an insane amount, I'm sure, and they know having him and his name is worth something, so they're going to pay quite a bit to get him.
Yeah,
and he was good at his job for PlayStation. So
right, I mean, so Tencent is a direct competitor to Sony. So
yeah. I'm not surprised with Tencent on this. Mm-hmm. I was surprised with him because if you're going to get that stupid offer of the check, okay, we're going to pay you a $2 million salary. I don't know what his salary is. You know what I mean? Like, you get that stupid number they're going to tell you on the phone. You're like, okay, sure.
Uh-huh.
And probably he is a worth to get because of his work with PlayStation and with the Japanese, not only just the Japanese market, the North American market. Mm-hmm. So having him because he's familiar in these markets for giving you a better advantage for Tencent. Mm-hmm. These markets.
So what he's advising them on is a Tencent console. He's gonna destroy PlayStation.
They already have hybrid consoles, Carl. In China out here, like they've already copied.
You're out in China?
No, but out here in Japan, we see a lot of what's going on in China. We're very close to China, obviously, Burley. So, I mean, they have a lot of like black market and hybrid consoles for almost every console that's come out. So,
Tencent's going to make their own console, and they're going to try to crush PlayStation, and Shawn Layden's going to be leading the charge.
They're going to copy Game Pass to destroy Microsoft.
Yeah, they'll do that. They don't care.
Yeah.
Do what happens. Do it all. It's like Reggie Fils-Aimé working for GameStop. He was an advisor there.
Oh, that was just that. Hey, GameStop wants to give me a check, and I don't really have to do too much. I'll take the money.
Right?
That's what that was to me, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting story because of who he is and where he's going. Who knows if it will ever amount to anything? And another story later. What came out of this, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Shall see. But yeah, I mean, at least we know what his next job opportunity is. So.
Actually, there's breaking news. They just bought Rare from Microsoft. Shawn Layden brokered the deal.
Yeah. He's going to get Everwild out this year.
Yeah, actually, Carl, that was his opening statement. He says, with us taking over, we're getting Everwild out.
Exclusive to the new Tencent consoles.
Okay, for all of you audio listeners who cannot see Burley's face and Carl's face as they are saying this, they're just messing with you. Okay, this is not a true story.
You can't tell by the tone. I think they could tell by the tone of our voices. And how many times have we done this on the show?
Okay. All right. Next up, Overwatch. Overwatch is coming soon, guys. So So Overwatch's lead hero designer, Overwatch 2, coming out on October 4th. Overwatch 2's lead hero designer leaves Blizzard before the game is launched. So let me go ahead and read some of this for you. Overwatch 2 designer Jeff Goodman has left Activision Blizzard. According to PC Gamer, Goodman was the head lead designer or hero designer behind many of Overwatch's most popular characters, but made the decision to leave Blizzard earlier this year, end quote. So, quote, we thank Jeff for his many years of service at Blizzard and wish him all the best, end quote, the company said in a statement to PC Gamer. Quote, his ability to bring to life Overwatch's diverse hero roster through gameplay has been incredible, and the mark he's left on the Warcraft and Overwatch teams will be felt for years to come, end quote. So obviously there was, of course, these harassment and discrimination lawsuits going on with Blizzard. Whether he had anything to do with that, we don't know. But of course, earlier in the year, he made this decision. But of course, with Overwatch 2 coming out soon, they're going to have to really think about getting somebody new in there because they're going to have to find a new hero designer because they're going to need more heroes as this game, goes out into the wild and is out. I will go ahead and show you for all of you video viewers, for example, Overwatch 2 Season 1 here. So all of the things that are going to be going on for Season 1. So you could see that and check that out. But what do you guys think? Kind of puts Blizzard in kind of a sticky situation here with Overwatch 2. Carl, I'll start with you, man. What do you think of this situation?
Yeah, well, it all depends on, do they have this person up? He's a lead designer. He's not the only designer, right? So, yeah, maybe they have the next person. They said it was earlier this year, so maybe this was all sort of planned for. Like he said he was going to leave. He left at a certain time. They had the next person ready,
maybe,
and it might be a smooth transition, and who knows? I mean, I would say after recently looking into some of the characters because it was just for fun, looking at what Activision characters might be in a Xbox party brawler like a Smash clone, and of course you got to have some Overwatch characters. Tracer's the obvious because she's like the poster character, but who else is there? And you know what? There's a lot of really cool character designs in this game. Mm-hmm. So yeah, his work was really good. So he probably, I assume, is taking an offer somewhere else. I would imagine we'll hear not too far off, where he's going.
Yeah,
and maybe he's working for another major company. Maybe he's working
Tencent.
For Tencent.
He's joining Tencent with Shawn Layden. Shawn Layden's bringing him over.
Maybe he's going to Microsoft because they're buying that company anyway, or maybe he's escaping Microsoft because he doesn't like them, and he's like, I gotta get out of here before they take over. Who knows?
Jim Ryan called him, maybe. Yeah, so persuaded him to leave. No, I'm just kidding.
No. That's the obvious. He obviously Miyamoto called him. The rest
Come
is
over to
history.
Nintendo. Yes.
Yeah.
I need someone to design the next Mario character.
Yeah. So Burley, what are your thoughts on this? I know you were telling me, I think it was last week or something, or the week before, about some of these characters. The one that we see here in the image, she was introduced at TGS, but
there's a multitude of things that could be happening here. Maybe he just was like, I'm finally done. I'm done. Or I'm hoping this person was not involved in any of the scandals with Blizzards. I'm hoping. But could just be either the Microsoft thing, or it's just like, I'm done with Blizzard. I'm done. Or I just don't want to do this line of work anymore. I want to transition to something else. Who knows? I would hope they have some designers that are capable of doing stuff, but like, this game is in a weird spot, Overwatch 2, because once this goes live, they are not, like, Overwatch 1 is dead, and Overwatch 2 changes like the speed and a lot of things. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game does.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at this image here. The Battle Pass, introducing the Battle Pass. So,
and this
so
was the game that
Kiriko-san. Kiriko is the character's name we see here in the image. So, yeah. Go ahead, Burley.
Don't forget, the first Overwatch was one of the big games that popularized loot boxes.
Yeah. We shall see. Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, Overwatch comes out on October 4th. So, I don't know. Are you guys going to try it? I might.
I've never played even Overwatch 1, so
same. I'll try the game out. Like,
yeah,
I'll try it.
Let's
see.
I played
how
Overwatch
it is.
1, so yeah. But I used to play Winston a lot in Overwatch 1. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it runs. So, speaking of that, of course, we got some more news about another Marvel game. So, of course, D23, we got the information about the Captain America Black Panther game that's coming. Well, now it looks like we're getting another Iron Man game. So, yeah, Iron Man coming from EA Motive. So EA Motive obviously is working on the new Dead Space game as well, the remaster. So first of multiple EA Marvel games. So I will put, the link to the GameSpot.com article below, and I will go ahead and read a little bit of it for you. So Tony Stark will be making his solo return to video games as EA and Marvel Games have announced a new Iron Man game in development at EA Motive. The game will be a single-player action-adventure game, so sorry, Carl, not turn-based. Single-player action-adventure game starring the Marvel hero,
but
according
it's
to EA's...
third person. I'm excited.
Yeah. According to EA's official website, it will feature, quote, an original narrative that taps into the rich history of Iron Man, channeling the complexity, charisma, and creative genius of Tony Stark and enabling players to feel what it's like to truly play as Iron Man, end quote. So, how excited are you guys for this game when we don't know exactly when it's coming, but I'm sure it's probably years off. But anyway, how excited are you for this and of this news? Burley, I'll start with you.
I'm vaguely excited. The EA scares me, but you got to remember with that, they did do a good single player game Respawn did with the Jedi Fallen Order. So I'm always hoping lightning in a bottle could happen. Iron Man is not a character I'm huge on. So, but
yeah, because we had, I was going to say we had the EA Motive made 2017's Battlefront 2, and then the Squadrons game from 2020. And of course, Iron Man is obviously PlayStation VR. You know, they did the Iron Man VR game back in 2020, I think it was as well. Yeah. So, go ahead, Burley. You were going to say.
Shoot, give me a sec. Iron Man's not a character I truly care that much about, but it'd be interesting to see what they'll do. And if you're they're saying taking stuff from comics, come on, Demon in a Bottle side quest or storyline event.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep my eye out, but Motive, hearing that these are the same guys that did Battlefront 2, and what a mess that game came out, and that they had to update the hell out of it to get people to go and play that. Yeah. Squadrons, I heard nothing but good things, and I do actually remember you streaming the first little bit of that at XPAD.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was you said before you go on, Carl. I was going to say to Burley, that scares me now that you say that about Battlefront 2 when it released. Now I'm worried about the Dead Space game when it comes out, what it's going to be like, because I love Dead Space, but I'm hoping that it's an amazing experience. But go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, Dead Space will be a good test for them to see how they handle that. Squadrons, looking them up looks like their only game that they developed on their own, right? Because they worked on Battlefront 2, but they weren't like the lead. That was DICE and
DICE.
That's true. Yeah, DICE
on that. Yeah. So, Squadrons did turn out pretty well, even though it was a smaller game. There's flight in it. It's a flight simulation game, so they have some experience. Iron Man's going to do a lot of flying, I assume.
Yeah,
we would hope.
Yes.
Now you're going to walk around in the Iron Man armor and just slowly run to enemies.
It's one of those, like, I'm cautiously optimistic because I want there to be other really good superhero games like Spider-Man on PS4, right? Or the Arkham series with Batman.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential for those characters to be amazing video game characters. There's so much to do, specifically with Iron Man. Like, Iron Man, I think, is perfect for a video game because of how he has so many different gadgets that he can have in his suit, right? There's so many different functions and features, and all the different suits. He's like hundreds of different Iron Man suits.
Could you imagine like in the Spider-Man for PlayStation? I mean, you had all the different choices of suits,
right?
I mean, this Iron Man game could be similar to that.
So the potential is there, right? To have all these interesting things. I mean, like, the Hulkbuster suits, those even the bigger ones like that. And he's got stealth suits, he had like a liquid metal sort of suit in the comics at one point, which was like apparently based off of like symbiote. And I'm like, all right, like this just goes really wild places. And there's so many interesting things in the comics they've done this character. So there's tons of potential. And he's become very popular and an interesting character because of the MCU. So if you can capture that sort of aspect of him, but also bring in some of the comic stuff as well, I mean, you have a lot of potential there. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And Dead Space, how they handle that will definitely impact, what I'm going to think about going forward with the studio.
Yeah. All right, it's time to get to our topic of the show. And Carl, because you weren't with us last week, I kind of wanted your thoughts on the situation with that Burley and we were talking about it with Microsoft and PlayStation at the moment with the Activision Blizzard deal, and with Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan's comments. I wanted to get your take on it because I'm sure you wanted to say a few things on that before we get into the topic of the show, which is exclusivity games and everything. The comments that Jim Ryan made, of course, about the deal was insufficient when it comes to what Phil Spencer was saying about the Call of Duty games still being multi-platform, and that we are, not going to be, taking Call of Duty away from PlayStation. And then Jim Ryan saying that what he was saying is not, sufficient enough in a sense.
Yeah. I think was I here the week
that
you
were
stuff
off.
happened? Because there was another story later. Mm-hmm. I thought I talked about that in, the one where he said it was inadequate, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked about that quote because I do remember, it's the thing where he didn't say like why it's inadequate. Like, he's coming out and he's saying, they only offer 3 years, but I think the whole deal is inadequate on numerous levels. And it's like, but why? Like, what else is not good about it? You're going to tell me the time frame, but you're not going to tell me anything else. I'm like, all right, get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, we're not getting the advantage anymore. That's what we. That's what's in Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, your exclusive DLC, which they just announced, right?
Yeah.
For Modern Warfare 2 coming. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I don't. I feel like I did talk about that, and I know there was another story again. There was another thing that came out. I can't remember which one it was. But, there is one thing I did briefly. If you guys read in the comments, I wrote in the Discord about last week's Assassin's Creed stuff. I was so disappointed that neither of you guys were like excited or hyped in any way by any of that stuff.
I'm not excited. I mean, and I think I've made my point clear about these games, especially Ghost of Tsushima. And I'm not going to get into it in too much detail here on this episode because we got to get to the topic of the show. But I mean, I talked to Burley about this as well in the Discord. And of course, all of you out there, if you haven't checked out our Discord, please check it out, the Arena Podcast. Come and join and talk about the topics that we talk about on the show. We'd really appreciate it. So, but no, it's just, I mean, I think the video game industry has become too saturated with samurai type of games. And me being a Japanese historian and and the culture and the aspect of the samurai, I think Western game developers, they do their best, but I think they're still misunderstood. And I just and making an Assassin's Creed game out of it just makes it more, for me, just unappealing. But that's just me.
I mean, but everybody wanted this, right? This is the thing that everyone was begging for.
Oh yeah, everybody wants it. Everybody wants it. But as Burley was saying, it's going to ultimately be compared to Ghost of Tsushima, right, Burley? Go ahead, you take it.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say, no matter what, that game is gonna have different elements and stuff, but it will always get compared to Ghost, whether that's fair or not. Yeah. We'll have to see. My reason I'm not excited is just like, after me playing Valhalla, because I got back into the series with Valhalla, because I skipped Origins and Odyssey, and I was like, oh, I got the PS5 coming. So I was like, okay, let's get the new Assassin's Creed. You got the PS5 version. Let's check this out. And I'm like, after how bloated that story was, a mess. And it's like, Mirage is based on a character from Valhalla that I did not like.
Right.
This was a character, like, it's got another character in there, Basim's ally. I can't remember his name. I like him. If the game was focused on him,
it's like a young version of this character, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
10 years before the events, or 10 or 15 years before the events of Valhalla. So, and it's based in Baghdad. So, I mean, it was originally supposed to be DLC. But they decided to make it into a full game. But
it was originally going to be a $30 DLC charged up for $64. That's stuff I don't. I'm like, no.
It's a $50 game. I don't know what Canadian price is, but like it's a $50 full price. No, not full price. It's lower than full price. Like, I'm excited for it, because I think that's a good price for a shorter single player experience, right? It's not going to be, I don't remember what they said, that hours, maybe like 20 hours or something. I don't know.
They said 10 to 15.
Yeah. Okay. Which I assume is going to end up 20 or more if you're going to do like all the extras, right? So like, all right, 15 hours, let's say. Like, still, that's a good time. That's a good chunk of a story. And it's going back to the old style. We'll have to see when we see gameplay, but like, that's what excites me, because I really miss that old stealth action.
The stealth
Assassin's Creed games. Like Mirage, I'm interested, and I like that it's not $70 game, because they're like honest with it. Like, it's not as long of an experience as our, the Japan, that's gonna be the next
Codename Red. Codename
Red. Yeah. And I personally, I'm like, Codename Jade. I'm like, I would wish that was a console game, because I think Ancient China is something that is less interesting. We don't see as much,
Yeah, well, we did see in the 2D side-scrolling games they came out with. One was China, one was India, one was Russia back in the PS4 era. And they did do one on China.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the assassin, but there's a on YouTube there was a video of just before Ezio's death, and she goes to meet him. They made like a YouTube, like a kind of like an anime style video.
That was a movie. It was Assassin's Creed Embers.
Embers.
I think it was. Yeah,
yeah,
that was
that's
a
what it
good
was.
little movie.
Yeah, it was a short, short
like a half hour or something like that.
Yeah. And it was based on that Chinese character from the game. So
yeah, I mean, last thing I'll say, because we can move on, is obviously, it will. The Codename Red will be compared to Ghost of Tsushima. Obviously, yes, people will do that, right? But it's a multi-platform game, right? That's PlayStation exclusive only. It's not even on PC yet, right? I assume someday, right? That one didn't come to PC yet.
That has not come to PC, but we do have rumors of the next PlayStation game. I think Ghost will be another 2 to 3 years before we'll get that on PC.
Yeah. So Ghost, is only on that one platform. It's only for that one audience. Whereas Assassin's Creed is a huge franchise and they're wildly popular. And Valhalla, for all its faults, is incredibly successful. So was Odyssey
platform,
as well.
It's platform agnostic, Carl.
Yeah, and it's on everything. So like you're gonna have a wider audience on that game compared to Ghost. And the thing is, what's funny is that like, everyone's like they're gonna compare this to Ghost of Tsushima. Well, everyone compares Ghost of Tsushima to Assassin's Creed, as everyone calls that game Assassin's Creed in Japan. So, I mean, who cares? Like the comparisons are gonna be there. It's not really that big of a deal. We know what those games are like now for Assassin's Creed, whether you like that or not. I personally kind of want to go back. That's why I'm interested in Mirage. So maybe we'll see. Maybe they go more stealth back into the RPG stuff because you're going to be like a ninja character. So that's we'll see. Yeah. I think it's worth being excited for. Well, and also, I think you guys said something like there's too many games that they're coming too quickly. I mean, Valhalla was 2020. So by the time the next major mainline RPG one comes, that's probably gonna be 4 years, right?
But with Valhalla, you had the standalone game that came out a year or two after that was DLC, but you can play it standalone. Was it not Wrath of the Druids?
I don't know. But I can't.
Well, they had the DLC where she went to where. The main character goes to France as well. So
there's tons of like little of those, but that's what a Mirage originally was supposed to be. It was just that little DLC for Valhalla.
Yeah,
it's like I hope the game is good and I hope it's a good story. It's just like I have already a few things just because of the character and all that. Yeah, that just hold me want to back. And with how Valhalla came out, I just want to. I'm not diving in on this. I will let people be the beta testers for me and then see how it comes out. And I said I'll probably pick it up on a budget price. Just don't want to go in on full price on this.
Yeah. I didn't know that this was something that they might have put out as content for Valhalla, but I think what I do like about that idea is that it seems like they listened to the fans, right? Who are saying, no, we want that old style back. And they looked at that game and they said, okay, well, that content said, this makes sense, right? Because this is sort of going back to even Assassin's Creed 1. It has that same feel and aesthetic to it.
Well, Codename Red is going to have to be stealth based, like the old Assassin's Creed games, because if it's based on like a sect of a ninja group, say like the Iga, their whole entire form of combat was based on stealth.
Right. Well,
obviously,
but
because they were assassins.
But they said it's the next RPG, so just be prepared. Okay. Hopefully they back some more stealth, because Origins you could play very stealthy. I don't know about Odyssey and Valhalla. You could still play Origins pretty stealthy.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on, guys. Let's get into the topic of the show here. So, obviously, EA the head of EA was kind of rubbing his hands together because he's thinking that possibly Microsoft might make Call of Duty, an exclusive, which that's, of course, obviously probably not going to be happening from what Phil Spencer has been saying. But, I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of what he says here, some of his quotes. So Andrew Wilson said during a Goldman Sachs event that the potential of Call of Duty becoming a console exclusive is great news for Battlefield. Quote, in a world where there may be questions over the future of Call of Duty and what platforms that might be on or might not be on, being platform agnostic and completely cross-platform with Battlefield, I think, is a tremendous opportunity. So basically, his mindset is if we stay platform agnostic and we don't, just make an exclusivity deal with PlayStation or with Xbox, we have an opportunity to make a lot more money, obviously. So the topic of the show, what opportunities will platform agnostic franchises have in the future? Should they stay platform agnostic or should they jump over to one specific platform? Probably being platform agnostic is a good thing. And probably Call of Duty is going to continue, even though it's going to be Activision is going to be owned by Microsoft. It's still going to be on every platform. Unless in the future, 5 years down the road or so, they make another decision and say, okay, we're going to keep it only on Xbox when it comes to Call of Duty. But I don't know. What do you guys think of his comments? Do you think it's plausible for, Call of Duty to be only on one particular platform and this, from what he's saying, these opportunities about being platform agnostic to take advantage of the situation and to make more money and to be bigger than, say, Call of Duty and other franchises to take advantage of this type of situation? What do you guys think of this? So, Carl, I'll start with you, man. What do you think? Carl's out. Oh, sorry. As I just look at the screen here, Carl, phased out. So, Carl is, he's in the process of moving with his family, and also, his internet connection right now is, he's working on that. So, just want to let all of you listeners and video viewers know. So, Burley, go ahead. I'll start with you, man. So what do you think of this?
Well, he's just taking the local Wi-Fi. Oh, you meant the actual topic of the show.
Yeah, the topic of the show, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of other series will stay open, platform agnostic. Mm-hmm. It makes too much sense too. There are some that I understand will not be agnostic. I completely understand that.
Uh-huh.
Welcome back, Carl.
Yeah, welcome back, Carl. Yeah. So.
Well, what I thought would happen did happen at some point.
That's all right, man. That's all right. We let the listeners and viewers know your situation. So anyway, so Carl, I don't know if you heard all of what I was saying there, but what are your thoughts on the comments made by, of course, the head of EA and opportunities when it comes to platform agnostic type of games? I mean, do you see that for franchises moving forward?
Well, I mean, the majority of the major franchises that aren't from first party developers are platform agnostic,
right?
So that's always been there. I suppose there becomes as there becomes more studios that get bought by first parties, then there is more opportunity to be a game that's everywhere where others aren't. Mm-hmm. With Call of Duty, they think maybe one day that could go exclusive. I don't know that it ever will. Yeah. Maybe if they want to. I mean, the thing is, when it comes with Xbox, they are kind of in a lot of places, so they're not just console, right? They're PC, they're cloud. And you can play them on a mobile device with the cloud as well. So
Right.
it doesn't necessarily make that much of an advantage that you can put your game on, PlayStation and Switch, where they wouldn't. Those platforms, there's a lot of good sales on those too. So it's hard to say that like it matters, right? There's an opportunity, right, to be everywhere, because Nintendo, as you can see, is selling like crazy with just their one platform.
Right.
And they don't put anything on PC.
Yeah,
all.
they're an enigma. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Stay platform agnostic. Yeah, I mean, you broaden your opportunities, but I kind of think the timing of his comments, though, being that Microsoft and PlayStation are in this battle of, whether or not, they're going to keep Call of Duty, multi-platform or make it exclusive and all. I think it's kind of telling that he comes out with these comments now. So, we have these opportunities. We're not going to let like PlayStation or Microsoft, tell us what to do. And the games that we like, Battlefield, it's going to stay on every console. It's going to be on every platform. So
yeah.
I thought
is
that
this
was
the same
interesting.
guy who said that like, Halo Infinite hurt Battlefield?
Yeah, Andrew Wilson. Yeah.
So now he's like, oh, it's we have this opportunity to beat them by being everywhere. I'm like, but you just complained that like Halo, which isn't on everything, like hurt your game. No, man. You know what you need to do? You need to take the opportunity to make a better game. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not worry about anything else at this point.
Yeah.
Just make a better game.
Yeah. But I mean, other franchises that have opportunities of course, succeeding and being successful as, platform agnostic franchises, like we just talked about, Assassin's Creed. I mean, that's another example. I mean, they're on everything pretty much. So that's, one example of, a franchise that's, probably most likely going to always be agnostic when it comes to platform. Because Ubisoft is pretty much on everything. So,
yeah, until they get bought by Sony or someone, and then
if they get
Tencent,
bought, yeah,
Tencent keep trying to buy them.
Until they get and Tencent, and Shawn Layden's exclusive console for Tencent. Assassin's Creed only on Tencent. On the Tencent Layden. That's what it's called. Okay.
The Tencent Layden. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's interesting the way the industry is now. Like, you can have success anywhere, on any platform, on all platforms, because there's so many gamers now. And obviously, we want.
Carl is popping out again.
Yeah.
He's Shawn Layden must have heard what he was talking about and cut him out. So
Yes.
Tencent has the rights to his internet provider, I guess.
He actually just sent me a message that said Tencent is trying to silence me.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think a lot of franchises that have been platform agnostic are going to stay that way because it makes sense. They're like, it's been more the ones that have, besides the ones of like Sony just buying companies or Nintendo, Microsoft, and that are staying on the one platform.
Yeah.
It's mostly just been new franchises, and they're like, we don't know, but like Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo will come to them and say, hey, put it only on our platform. We'll give you a platform for it. You're not sure of how it's going to do on the other consoles. Well, I think that's less and less a thing anymore, but it still does happen. Like, remember, Octopath Traveler came just originally to the Switch, then came to PC, then to the Xbox, but not PlayStation. It's still one of the oddest things to me, because like PlayStation is a Japanese company, and people do love JRPGs and all that. and turn-based RPGs on PlayStation. How the original Final Fantasy VII release on PlayStation sold gangbusters.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So, I mean, whether or not these type of games stay platform agnostic or not, we shall see. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to talk about his comments and see what comes of this Activision Blizzard deal. I still think that Call of Duty will always remain multi-platform. And it's obviously, I mean, it's doing gangbusters, and it's a bigger franchise than Battlefield, but we shall see.
Yeah. I think Call of Duty is gonna, like I've said so many times, I'm like a broken record on this. Makes too much freaking money on PlayStation, and you will lose. You will get some people that would if you only made it Microsoft on the Microsoft platforms, PC, and in the Game Pass ecosystem, or buying it only on Xbox or PC. Yeah. You would still get people that would move over there, but you would lose a lot of people. And you don't pay that kind of money to be like, well, we're going to take let's say 40% of the players on Call of Duty are PlayStation. You're going to lose that whole market share. Right. They're not going to be that stupid.
Yeah. Well, all right. So that's been our topic of the show. So let's go ahead and move on, Burley. Hopefully Carl will join us again shortly. So let's get to our new game releases, our picks of the week for the week of course, September 26th through October 2nd. We're almost into October, Burley. Got a big month coming up in October, man. Yeah, October is going to be huge. We got just one more week here in September. So let's go ahead and get to your game of the week. So Carl's coming back in now. Welcome back, Carl. You are back. So we are now doing picks of the week. No, that's okay. Don't worry about it, man. So
hey, man, I've been there.
Yeah. So picks of the week. So Burley, you're first. What do you got for us?
My pick of the week is Brewmaster. Learn to brew, refine, and celebrate your craft, and become a brewmaster. Discover and learn the master of the art of home brewing and the ultimate celebration of craft beer. For perfect, authentic, chemistry-driven brewing techniques to naming, bottling, and labeling, refining your craft to become the ultimate brewmaster in the first ever realistic beer brewing experience. With all the tricks of the trade and the best equipment at your disposal, follow the recipe or experiment with a huge variety of real-world ingredients to hone your skills. Enter friendly competitions, earn beer tokens, and upgrade your equipment to become an even better brewer. Choose to experience the story-led Brewmaster mode or throw yourself into creative mode, a sandbox with everything unlocked. So that's coming Thursday, September 29th to PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. All these different brews, man. Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
And funny enough, actually, today I'm going later in the day. Me and my dad are actually going to a whiskey distillery and doing like a tour and everything. So that was part of the reason I picked this. Nice. I was like, let's have some fun with my pick of the week.
Nice. Those are fun. I used to do a bunch of those tours whenever I visited a place that had one.
Yeah, being from California out in the San Francisco Bay Area, of course, driving out to the wine country and going to all the the wineries and stuff. It's really cool too. So
I wanted to go to the Labatt Brewery. I never made that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know that they have like a traditional tour. I have to check into it again. That was weird last time. I tried to do it. But like I went to the Coors one in Colorado. That was cool.
Cool. All right, Carl, you're up next. What do you got for us?
All right, Grounded, getting its full release on in 2 days. Actually, no. Yeah. Sorry, 27th on PC, Xbox One, Series X. In Grounded, you wake up in a suburban backyard, shrunk to the size of an ant. You hear the voice of a mysterious robot named Burgle. He seems to know what's going on and lets you know that the machine to turn you back to normal size is currently out of order. For now, everything in the backyard is trying to kill you, and it's up to you and up to 3 friends, if you're playing cooperative multiplayer, to survive the perilous landscape. Backyard is rife with different kinds of ants, flying insects, and spiders. You must gather, craft, and build bases from scavenged items found in the backyard, searching for life-saving resources such as the dew off grass to quench your thirst, or transforming an acorn shell into body armor to defend against a host of unpredictable creatures. To summarize, you want to go big or never go home.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm curious, interested to see, people, they do review this game again because there were reviews that came out when it first hit early access.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the game was not at all close to feature complete. So it's going to be interesting because they've been updating it for a long time, and now we're getting the actual full story mode.
Full release.
Unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I played it early on, and I tried to, there's a little bit of tidbits of that beginning story, which seemed interesting. So I'm curious to see what people think of it.
From what I saw from this or the early access to what it's looking like here and now, it's like, oh, I can't wait to try this, and I can only think of the loots, the stream loots, craziness my chat would kill me with.
Mm-hmm. Look at that mantis. That's awesome.
Yeah. My favorite bug, praying mantis. Yep. Grounded. Nice. Join 10 million players in the backyard. All right, I'm up next. So I got a good one for you guys. The fridge is red. Spiral down the psychological horror episodes. Experience the unsettling liminal spaces and surreal events inspired by analog horror of the PSX era. What is inside the red fridge? So it comes out on September 27th for PC. So yeah, I picked this because we're almost in October, and of course October is, horror game month and all. So we're getting close enough. So what the hell? It's a little indie game here. So good stuff. Yeah.
I do really like that old sort of PS1 era style visuals, but then also they're obviously doing more than was capable back then as well.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. It's a retro style that you don't see a lot, and we are starting to see more of them, but I feel like there hasn't been like a breakout title that was like PS1 era visuals, right? We get a lot of like 16-bit or even 8-bit sort of like retro style games that are really successful today.
Yeah. All right. So those are our picks of the week. So for September 26th through October 2nd. So Carl, I was telling Burley earlier, man, we're almost in October, man. October is going to be a big month. Yeah. So for games, so we're looking forward to that. So that's good stuff.
We can have the time, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. All right. So next up, Carl, we had some, of course, Game Pass announcements. Of course, the second wave. Of course, some that are out already, but some are coming right at the tail end of the month. So what do we got coming to Game Pass, man?
I'm not on this list, which is sad to me. It never got to be on the. I love seeing the list this every year, every other week. This cool little graphic with all the games on it. But Ni no Kuni, the remastered one that dropped, just kind of fell in between where they had the TGS announcement and this. That is available now, as well as let's go with Deathloop is available on Cloud PC, Xbox Series XS only, not Xbox One. And Hard Space Shipbreaker, which is now on Xbox Series X. This game was already on PC Game Pass, but it is the day one console release on Game Pass. Yeah. Then we had September 22nd. These games are out now. Spider Heck console PC. That's a day one Game Pass game. Beacon Pines on everything, day one Game Pass game. Slime Rancher 2, another day one Game Pass game, out now. Yep. Then coming up, we have Moon Scars, September 27th, also a day one game. Grounded, the full release on September 27th. Yeah. Let's Build a Zoo on September 29th.
Nice.
And Valheim, which is in game preview still on PC, September 29th. And that one's supposed to come to console next year. I remember they announced, so that'll be cool. I'm interested in that, but I might try that on PC. Then Paw Patrol Grand Prix, September 30th, cloud, console, PC, and this is a day one game on Game Pass. So
Nice.
I think that everybody will discount something like that, but it is interesting that they are getting a kids game like that day one now.
Yeah,
on Game Pass.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier in the show, I am now playing Deathloop. And I'm playing it on PS5, but I will be playing it on Xbox as well to try it on the Series X. So
I will try it on my Series S because I did spend quite a bit of time on the PS5 and see how it runs there.
Yeah. And the games that are leaving Game Pass September 30th. What games are leaving, Carl?
You have AI, the Somnium Files,
That's right,
Astria
Somnium
Ascending,
Files.
Dandy Ace, Dirt 4, Dirt Rally, Going Under, Lemnis Gate, Slime Rancher, first one, Subnautica Below Zero, The Procession to Calvary,
Procession
Unsighted,
Calvary.
and
Visage, yes. Visage is really big on stream, I think, for Twitch streamers, isn't it, Burley? I think Visage was big.
Oh, that was it for a while there. Yeah. That was quite the popular game on Twitch. I don't know what the number because I've been on Twitch as much lately.
Yeah, probably not
the numbers
as big,
are.
Last year it was really big. Yeah.
So. Oh, last year I think it overtook Phasmophobia for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, so Astria Ascending, I'm kind of surprised that that's leaving, but it's been out for over a year now, I think. So, but Subnautica Below Zero, I want to try that because I played some Subnautica, it was very good. So, yeah,
a lot of games, they get a year on there.
Yep. Yeah. Well, speaking of games from last month, we got our NPD report for the games of August. So I'm going to put that up for you now, and I'm going to show this to you. So, of course, the NPD...
Madden.
Yes. So top 10 selling video games, retail and digital for August of 2022. So number 1, of course, Madden NFL 23. Saints Row. So 2022 Saints Row is number 2. Number 3, Marvel Spider-Man. Number 4, Elden Ring. So Elden Ring dropping off a little bit now. Number 5, Multiverses. Number 6, Mario Kart 8. Number 7, Minecraft. 8, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Number 9, MLB The Show 2022. And rounding off the top 10, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So... anything stand out to you on this top 10 list?
Well, Spider-Man jumping up that's great. That's because of the PC release there.
Right. Yeah. From 84 to 3.
Yeah. Multiverses staying in the top there. It's not also pretty interesting. Free to play game still manages to be on this list.
Yeah. Stuff.
Yeah. And Mario Kart still
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart's still pulling it, and with the announcement that in this holiday we're getting the next DLC bunch of tracks. So that's not surprising. It's good to see it still being popular. And Nintendo ain't making a Mario Kart 9 anytime soon.
Yeah. Definitely.
That would be the show. That's interesting. I don't know, is baseball might be getting to season soon, maybe. I don't know if that's what's going on.
Yeah, good old Aaron Judge. Yeah, he's right up there about to tie Roger Maris's American League record for home runs. He's at 60 right now. He has to hit 61. Yeah, so Well, my boy Barry Bonds, obviously he's on the top, but he's got the asterisk beside him, obviously. But that's another story.
Sadly, there's no Buffalo baseball team. The fans here would be awesome. They'd be wild. The fans here are fantastic.
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
well, you're not that far from Toronto now. You can go become a Blue Jay fan.
Blue Jays, yeah.
Yeah, well, you got the Bills, man. They're playing incredibly well right now. So it's only 2 games in, but I mean, they're amazing right now. They could be the AFC representative in the Super Bowl this coming year. We shall see.
Good chance. Yeah,
we shall see. Play the Niners. Wild. Play my team, the Niners. Yeah, good old Jimmy G is back. I mean, it's like they went with Trey Lance and they kept Jimmy G on a 1-year contract. He decided to stay, and unfortunately, Trey Lance's injury put Jimmy G back in the starting lineup. So we shall see.
Looks like you're keeping up. I'm not even keeping up with it. I of course I can't even keep up with my TV shows and games. I can't. Obviously,
dude, I am Carl. I'm a big sports fan when it comes to my hometown team. So I keep up on them a lot. So, but anyway,
it's good.
All right. So it's time to talk about what we're going to be playing this next week. Of course, I'm going to try to progress more into Deathloop and play more of Ni no Kuni and probably I might try to play Overwatch 2 actually because it's coming out next week. But before it's not coming out before our next episode. So I'll be sticking on the Nintendo side of things with Splatoon 3. So Burley, what are you going to be playing this upcoming week?
For me, this upcoming week, Triangle Strategy on my off time, hoping to just keep putting time into that for stream. Tomorrow doing some Mario Kart with my chat, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then I'm actually on Monday starting up Metal Hellsingers. Thanks to Daredrop, I was able to get a key, so we'll try that on at least Monday and see how many days we do that.
Nice. Carl, how about you?
A lot of choices, I suppose. I'm not going to go back to Soul Hackers 2, I think, at this point.
You're done with it, huh?
I think, okay. I really think, I don't feel like going back, which is, I'm sad, because I bought that game. I hate when that happens, but, Expeditions Rome, I always feel like going back to it, but there's so many other choices to, I installed Deathloop, I installed Ni no Kuni.
Try Ni no Kuni, it's good. It's really good. So.
I do want to try the Valkyrie Elysium demo. Yeah. Because I got that installed. Slime Rancher 2. I did play the first one a bit. I enjoyed that. Okay. So maybe I could try that. Yes. And just Grounded. There's so many things to try, man. I'm not going to have, of course, the time for.
Yeah. You're going to go back to State of Decay 2. We know it.
Yeah. It's been a while, man. I have not gone back to it.
Yeah. I kind of figure it's going to be until like the middle of October before you're going to be settled in where you can start to really focus on, gaming and stuff. So
I feel like I need to just bounce around to different things and until I don't know, like Plague Tale Requiem hits, so I can just
coming soon
focus on that. And then there's Persona 5. So
these next 8 weeks are just going to be a massive wave of games, and then 2023. I mean, is just a boatload of stuff coming out. We're going to be so busy, guys, with stuff and with news and stuff like that. So
you think you guys are busy on this? I'm going to be in November because there's potentially 3 big releases within days of each other that I have to go make stream content. So. November, you're going to see me with the shades on, looking like I've got a massive hangover.
Well, not only that, Burley, but you're going to have our content here on the Arena Production.
Yeah, I know the extra takes and all that.
And we're going to be really busy doing that. So.
Oh, I know.
What's the date?
It'll be exciting and overkill at the same time.
What's that, Carl?
Pokemon. What's the date on that, Burley?
November. It's like November 17th or something like that. That Friday. It's the week after God of War.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the day before God of War, you got Sonic Frontiers that I might end up having to do. It's like
nice.
My birthday is November 16th, so maybe I'll get Pokemon for my birthday and then not have time to play.
Get a PS5 for your birthday, man. Then you can play God of War Ragnarok on PS5. Yeah, there you
go. I kind of want a
Temtem on.
Yeah.
I kind of want an OLED Switch because I have a Switch Lite, so I can't play it on a TV or anything. PS5, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can still hold out. I might, if I have the time, like I'm actually considering playing God of War on PS4, and I can at least see how well it runs. Sure
guys, I'm seriously considering packing up my PS4 now. I hate to say it, but I on my desk here, I've got the PS5, but it's a digital edition. And I've got my Series X, which is, of course, has a disc drive. And then I've got the PS4, but it's like I never use my PS4 now, pretty much. I mean, I'm playing everything on PS5. I mean, I've transferred pretty much everything digitally over to the PS5. So it's like to free up some space on the desk with the Switch as well, on the desk here with the PC. I'm thinking maybe it's about time to box it back up.
Yeah, man, get rid of that. It's trash. No, I'm kidding. I have my my Xbox One S and my Xbox One X. Those I still have, but like in the move, I boxed them up. I have the original boxes and everything, and I'm not gonna take them out at this point. I'm just gonna actually want to sell them. I might sell them and then get like a Switch OLED or something.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't like since I have the PS5 digital edition, I don't even buy discs for it. My PS4 Pro, of course, I have lots of PS4 discs. For that, I might, if I think about selling it, I don't know, but I'll probably just keep it, as a collector's item. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's no reason to have a PS4 except if you have a digital PS5 and you want to play your physical games. Otherwise, yeah, like I say it's trash, but what I really mean is like the Xbox One and the PS4 are pretty much garbage now because the PS5 and Series X and S play all those. Well, let's not say the S because again,
let's not say garbage, Carl. Let's say insignificant.
Insignificant. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can play every game from those previous systems on the new ones and probably run better. So like, why even bother?
Right. And I have the PS Plus Premium anyway, and a lot of those games I can just download that I had on the disc for the PS4 versions. I can get them. So there. So.
Me, I just have my PS4 in my entertainment stand. I think the last time I used it when I had a problem with my TV and they were replacing. I had Samsung come into my apartment and replace the one thing for my TV, and they needed something quick to test, and because I had to tear my living room apart, I still had my PS4 in the entertainment stand. So I turned it on and I'm like, okay, it reads the PS4.
Right.
Yeah,
so anyway, let us know in the comments what you thought of the stories, that we talked about on this episode. For example, the GTA 6 leaks, Shawn Layden moving to Tencent, all of the stories we talked about. Let us know. And of course, the NPD report for August. What did you think of that? Let us know everything in the comments. We really appreciate all of your support and the comments that you give to us. We really appreciate that. So thank you so much.
I got a good question for the comments related to what we were just talking about. If anybody wants to respond, if they're still listening at this point.
Or viewing.
Do you think it's worth keeping old consoles anymore? Considering going back to like the 360 era, right? Where those games they're all, the backwards compatibility layer adds an effect of like, why do I need to keep these old systems anymore?
Right.
So how much, if you're someone like a younger gamer and you start on generations, like, do you care about keeping old consoles? Like I care about keeping my NES and my SNES,
Right. Yeah. All right. And of course, if you like this video and you liked what we talked about during the episode, please be sure to hit that like and the subscribe and the notification bell for when we drop a new episode of the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast, along with all of our other content here on the Arena Productions YouTube channel. So we really appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much. So, all right. So it's time to talk our indie recording artist spotlight for this week. So this week's spotlight is on Ben Fox. Ben Fox is an Irish music producer, composer, and creator. With a strong passion for helping creators with their video projects, Ben has seen his music used by content creators around the world. His music is modern, diverse, and designed to enhance visual media with epic background music. From his album titled Come Through, and the song is called Nostalgia. So this has been The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast, episode 105. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. We hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace out.